Today we have some major Sound of Freedom updates for you guys. The director of the film has lashed out at the media for their number one attack of the film. The Sound of Freedom team also had some very interesting statements about the movie being apolitical and not left or right, which will certainly make the left-leaning media's head explode. All of that and more right here. Let's get into it. Thank you guys so much for being here at Coach's Archives. When I'm not in the home studio, I am here on the go, and I can still bring you the news that matters. If you like honesty and truth with no spin, you are in the right place. Now, let's get into this Sound of Freedom update. The first article comes from Variety, and it just broke less than an hour ago. Sound of Freedom director calls Q conspiracy labels heartbreaking. Not true. Debunks with details of the film's origins. And just in case you're unaware, the Q conspiracy, I wish I could say the actual word, but I can't say it because the video gets suppressed even more. But the Q conspiracy is basically the number one attack from the media on the movie. They're saying, don't go watch it because this is a Q conspiracy film. They believe there's a group of Jews who are running the world and they're evil, twisted people, and it's a secret from everybody. That's basically what that means. So Variety reports, despite its status as the highest grossing indie film since 2019's Parasite, Sound of Freedom has been dismissed as a Q fever dream by large swaths of the mainstream media. But that derisive label is so ridiculous to the film's writer-director Alejandro Monteverde, who began working on the project in 2015, 2 years before Q even emerged. For the sake of simplicity, let me just say what they just reported. The Q conspiracy came out 2 years after this movie began its pre-production. The two things don't mix. Saying further, the origin of the film has been avoided purposely or accidentally in the media, Monteverde said. The origin will answer a lot of these misconceptions about the film. Monteverde actually goes on to say about how this issue at the heart of the movie is a worldwide issue. It's not a left issue or a right issue. This is an apolitical film and message that applies to all of us. And he says here, there's people that are too close to the film that are in politics. He says of Caviezel and Ballard, who attended a Donald Trump-hosted screening of the film in July. Monteverde did not attend. And he says, so it's like, I love you, but I have to keep my distance. Now let's identify the bias in the room. I am certainly right-leaning. I am conservative myself. But with that being said, I have no problem with Monteverde not attending the Donald Trump screening of the movie. It was cool that Tim Ballard and Jim Caviezel was there. The conservatives have embraced the movie and the movement, and the liberals have not. And it is what it is. But I do appreciate how Monteverde has gone at lengths to make sure to spread the message. This is apolitical. This should not be political at all. Monteverde also talked about how the movie has been attacked as being a faith-based movie, which has turned a lot of people off. And he says this, I believe labels such as faith-based exclude people. And my intention as a filmmaker is never to exclude, but to include everyone, all audiences. We made Sound of Freedom for people of faith, people without faith, and everyone in between. Another way that the film has been attacked is the whole pay it forward thing. People are saying that it's a scheme, it's a Ponzi scheme, it's all of these things, that the movie is really not as successful as it's made up to be because so many people are buying tickets that aren't even being used, nobody's watching it, and we know that none of that is true. And Monteverde was actually asked about the Pay It Forward program, and he was asked how much of the Pay It Forward was used in the total profits for the movie thus far, and Monteverde said it's somewhere between 4 and 7%. 4 and 7%. That's it. So let's just say for argument's sake that it's 7%. The film has grossed $173 million thus far, so 7% of $173 million is right around $12 million. So the people who are saying that the film is not successful and people don't care about the message and it's just a right-wing conspiracy, it's a pay-it-forward, not real scheme, you're wrong. The Hollywood Reporter broke a great story today saying the Sound of Freedom filmmakers say no single interest group owns the issue of transportation. And they expand further on the Q conspiracy details, saying the movie has also been unjustly associated with certain extreme conspiracy theories. We wrote the movie in 2015 and shot it in 2018, well before anyone involved had ever heard of such theories. It is therefore literally impossible for the movie to reference these theories, and anyone who has seen the movie knows it does not. In fact, NPR, Rolling Stone, and just about every other media outlet that has written about the movie, either positively or negatively, has made it clear in their stories that Sound of Freedom itself doesn't contain any references to conspiracy theories. We took our inspiration from actual events, many of which were reported by major media outlets at the time. And that is quite the truth bomb, mic drop, whatever you want to call it. I love it. There's a couple more updates that you need to be made aware of. Just a couple days ago, there was an assassination in Ecuador. The right-leaning person who was running for the office of president in Ecuador, Fernando Villavicencio, was assassinated. You could see the live footage of the extremely unfortunate event. After that happened, the producer and actor in The Sound of Freedom, his name is Eduardo, I'm going to mess this up, but Verastegui. I'm not really sure. Let me know in the comments how to say the name, but I'm doing my best. I am from the South, by the way. So he is actually considering running for president of Mexico, and he was in Ecuador when that happened. So when that assassination happened, he was actually about to start a screening of the movie with the sitting president in Ecuador. He had to flee. He had to leave out of fear, his security team, out of fear that he would also be killed as well. Another update that I want to give you is a great report over here at the Daily Wire, Why We Need a Global Coalition to Fight Child Transportation, and it was actually written by Tim Ballard himself. Great summary of everything that they are trying to do at the Spear Fund. This is the new organization that honestly seems like it's going to be potentially bigger, better, and even more effective than Operation Underground Railroad. That said, I'm certainly not taking any shots at OUR. They are fantastic and done an incredible job. Thank you for being here today. Let me know in the comments what you think. I hope that the good Lord rains blessings down on you in your life and draws you closer to Him. All that in Jesus' name. See you in the next one.